Hey, it's Uncle Joe with Uncle Joe Hikes. We're up here on Hale Ridge Road. We're gonna hike into Rabun from the east. We've done this before. Last time I was up here, I had that was having that weird respiratory thing, and went to the doctor trying to figure that out. But this was one of the hikes I did where I just got part the way in, and I was just done. And that led to speculation. Did I have COVID? What was it? They really don't know. But it seemed to have ran its course. So I'm back here to do it again, and you know, maybe some unfinished business. I noticed on the way in that over the last couple of years there's been a good bit of downfall, blowdown, and I'm looking up here and seeing things that are a little bit more open than I remember. So, and I saw some burn too. So looks like maybe lots of things have happened since I've been through here. So we'll see if anything's changed on the trail and get us some views on our way up, and of course when we get up to Rabun. You can see that there's been some work on the trail, and this trail gets a fair amount of use as well. It's beaten out pretty good. Imagine the advent of all trails and apps like that, and the web, of course, means people can do like I do, which is research and try to find trails to hike. This is one of about 5 different ways to get up Rabun Bald, so that's a popular place. So I've been seeing some small broken branches in the trail and trying to think about what it might mean, and thinking maybe bear coming down the trail looking for things and snapping off limbs, trying to figure something out to eat. I don't know. But then I came across this scat, and it's got all kinds of stuff in it. I can't tell. I mean, it looks like scat to me. It's right here by my trekking pole, and then up here. So I don't know. I don't know what it could mean. Bears are waking up. It's been warm for a couple of weeks now. Spring is really starting to creep up here. You got a lot of buds in the trees, you can see up there. And spring comes pretty fast here in North Georgia. So, you know, it's just down by my house, which is only around 1,000 feet or so. It's getting really thick. So really this week and next week, this will be pretty much thick. And I mean, you can already see all of this. I mean, just last week up here, you probably could have looked out through there just fine without any growth. So we're in mid-April, so it's time. But yeah, could be some bears waking up and meandering around. I don't know, but keep on moving. I don't know what was ripping into that log. It may have been when it was up on the, well, no, because you got the shavings here, so something's been digging into it. Maybe a bear. I don't know. I recall, I think it was at this point, it may be further up, looking down into this bowl and seeing a substantial camp set up down there one time. I think there may be a double track that'll take you back into there. But yeah, something's been digging on that tree, looking for grubs or something. But get some branches here out of the way. We keep moving on. We gotta do a little climbing, I think, right here. So about a half mile in, it'll pitch up pretty steep. Oh, for about 30 yards. And it planes out. It's not too bad. Now it's getting steep again. I don't know how long this little steep piece will last, but between all that, it'll get your breath. Take a little breather, continue up this pitch. Keep heading up. Trail runner just came by. Anyway, give myself a second here to catch my breath. Work my way back up. So that gives you an idea of the pitch that we're dealing with right here. The camera's never really good at this, but it's pitching up pretty steep right here. And so it's taking a little bit of effort. But Rabun's a lot higher, so you gotta go up. What are you gonna do? This lady headed down and she just passed me going back up. That was her friend that was running earlier. I think she got part of the way down there and he said you might as well turn around and head back up. So they're training for a race. So yeah, I wouldn't want to run up this. And man, be a big bear or a big dude and a big sum of money I owe. You get me to run up this hill. Just came around a corner there. Got a steep little pitch here through these rhododendrons. You just gotta trust me. This is pretty steep. Hopefully we plane out soon here. Well, if it looks like the other one, it's because we're doing a series of kind of exaggerated switchbacks here. And they're all pretty steep. Up, up, up. We never did come around to a creek runoff. I think that's a little later. But this is a spring runoff. You can actually see it running in there. And we're way up the side slope. As you can see through the trees. And there it is. So we came up to this flat spot here. Took a break on this rock. That feller just came up making his return trip. The lady told me he was about 4 minutes behind her, and he probably was more like 5 or 6 minutes. It's a real steep section right there, so I need to let my legs rest a little bit, and he was feeling it too. So, but he said he's with a trail group. There's some blowdown up here. They're going to come back and I guess next week and try to get up here and cut that out. So we got that to look forward to. But yeah, I think we're going to make a big swing, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll see. I can't really remember if we're going to go out and across maybe, but I think we're going to make a swing out onto this ridge here, but I could be wrong. Been a little while since I've been up here. All right, pretty little flower. I saw a big cluster of those down on the road coming in. Good to see that one. We're working our way. We've kind of done a little bit of a hook. I don't think we go all the way out that ridge, as I recall. I think there's going to be a gap in there, or maybe over here. But we'll see. Got these little laurels here. It's kind of a dry area. The wind's kicked up pretty good, but you can kind of tell it's kind of a dry area here. So this is that creek draw that I thought I was getting close to earlier. It's actually down here. It's running pretty good. So we got a little draw here. As you can see, there's nothing on the ground. It just pops out right here, starts working its way, forming that creek, no doubt, along with the help of some other springs probably. Yeah, pretty cool. Good water source if you need it. Well, it's a little breezy. We just came up the side of this slope here. Now we're up kind of up here on the ridge, and we're going to work our way up. But a little winded. We're getting real close to the point I had to turn last time and go back. I can see why. I mean, if I was compromised in any way, getting up to this point would have been very, very hard. But between here and that spring draw, there's a lot of acorns on the ground. I would think if you're a bear hunter, if you're willing to slog in here a couple of miles and get up above that spring draw, be a good place to harvest a bear. You got water source right there, and then you got all those acorns. It's a good sign. So I think that ridge right there coming up is that big ridge, deep ridge. Trying to remember. There's a trail that I hiked up to Rabun on that. It's pretty tough. Yeah, we're working our way along this side slope here. A little bit of seepage coming out of the rock on the side. You can see some tripe growing there on the rock. It almost looks like a textile of some sort, you know. Hiking this side slope here with that rock and all, it just gives the trail a western feel to it. This trail has a lot of different personalities to it. It really does. To be as short as it is, maybe 2.5 miles, 3. I'll have to look at the actual mileage to be honest. But yeah, we're working our way. You can hear the wind roaring. We're in this saddle. This is where the camping area is. So wind can come up and over. And come up over this side and head over that way. So that's exactly what it's doing. We start working our way up to Old Rabun, which I believe is right there. So anyway, lots of acorns here too, so this gap might also be a good hunting spot. Plenty of area out here to pitch a tent. Coming up out of that camping area is pretty steep. We work our way up. Trust me, it's steep. Up, up, up. Well, we finally kind of crested this onto this tongue. Still got a little bit of climbing here, but it's planed out a good bit, giving us a little bit of a break. There's some more of that purple plant that I've seen before. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but we're up on this narrow ridge. Drops off right there. Drops off over here. That's that ridge that runs down. We've hiked before. But yeah, making our way across this little narrow ridge top. We got Rabun right in front of us. So we know we gotta climb. Another climb coming. Beautiful up here though. Really good view right here. You can see all that new green down there. Working its way up the mountain. All right, we're coming up on this side slope here to these big rocks. It's kind of cool. This is a nice section of the trail though, around these rocks. A little bit steep, but that's okay. Well, that was brutal. Coming up here, here's the ridge, the other ridge for that other trail. We came up this way. We're looking south-southeast here. Beautiful view. We can just see the deck up there on top of the ball. Well, we're looking out toward Highlands, and I do believe that's Glen Falls we can see there in the middle. Blue Valley there, where we were camping not too long ago. And of course, looking across to Albert and the AT, working its way up into the Smokies back there. Just a Great view up here. There's the little ridge we came up, and there's the ridge, I believe there, that goes down to on that deep bridge or big ridge that we did that time, and out this way the Bartram continues out to Wilson Gap. So, yeah, very, very windy, very windy, but beautiful up here. Our trail is right down there. That's where we're going to be heading back. So we're still coming down off this ridge. Lots of rock. This is kind of the crux, because as steep as some of those other sections are down the slope, when you get up on this ridge and you get into the really rocky sections, and you're kind of like, you can tell that you're up. You know, you're getting close to cresting. You get these series of just rocky channels, if you will, where the trail has really been dug down deep and eroded, and it's kind of the crux, because you're going to be stepping up a lot, and you do it for a good while. So hard on the knees going up and down, but mine are protesting a little bit, but lose a little weight, that'd sure help. Anyway, we'll get down off of this this ridge, and then down into the woods proper, and get a little break from the stair stepping maybe. So I look over at that ridge over there, and I think, no wonder it was such a tough climb when I did it that time. That's pretty long, continuous ridge, much like the one we're on now, but that one was just, it didn't have, as I recall, a great deal of, you know, undulation or back and forth. It was just like a up the draw kind of a hike, and it was tough. Now probably your last opportunity before it starts getting growed over. I remember it was starting to get a little overgrown when I was on it. But we're still descending down this little ridge top. Back to that little peekaboo section here. You can see where that ridge goes out and then saddles for a little while before it drops again. We keep moving on. So when you climb out of the camp area down there and you get to this big rock, you're going to make that turn. Just remember, this rock and this turn marks the beginning of the long climb to Rabun. And you start in the forest here, start working your way up, and then you get up on the ridge. You're on the ridge here, but it really closes in, and then you get up into the rocky, more brushy area, shorter trees, etc. And so, yeah, this is kind of like starting the crux. We're glad to have it behind us for today, so we can work our way down, get back to Old Gobi. A little rash of these coming up. Those might be trillium, I'm not sure. I had seen online people posting pictures from Shenandoah, and they had proper trillium. I mean, they had some blues, purple ones rather, coming up there, you know, bright flowered ones, and said it was awfully early for them. We've only seen those ones with the really dark purple. It's almost like it's not a flower that come up, and they're always some of the first ones that come up. We haven't seen really any more. I'd thought about maybe coming across Duncan Ridge and seeing if any were open along that trail, because I know there's a lot of trillium on that trail. But I still think it's going to be a little bit too soon. up here. But if you're seeing some, let me know and where. But I would say next week they'll probably start popping like crazy. You know, and spring is just dropping quick. So next couple of weeks probably be good for the trillium, and then after they come in and a little bit longer, you'll probably start seeing flame azaleas and laurels, and then rhododendrons I think come after the laurels. I could be wrong. Anyway, won't be long, it'll be time to go up blood again and look at the flowers. Back at our gap here where the camping area is. A little windy, so we'll keep moving. Walking that little side slope, we got some beautiful yellow flowers down here. It's getting a little bit of grass too. We keep working our way down. And here's some gunfire out in the distance. I was thinking, well, what hunting season would be open right now? And it dawned on me, it's probably turkey. Or it could just be somebody practicing or something. It's not the gun range that's on the down below Rabun, because that's back over the other way. This is out more to my ahead of me and to my left, kind of. So I don't know, somebody camping down there maybe, and doing some target practice. Or it could be turkey though. With that much shooting, they got real lucky if they're shooting that much at turkey. So I was checking the altimeter. We're at about 3,500 feet. So that creek, that spring, is coming out there just a little over 3,500 feet and running good. So a good sign. Of course, we've had a good bit of rain the last few days, so should be plenty of water around. Anybody hiking the Bartram out this way should be all right. Well, a big hard breeze just came through here. I've lost the wind muff from my mic, so if the wind bothers you, I'm sorry. We've dropped about 500 feet from that spring, so we still got some descending to do. But anyway, try to get the sun out of your eyes. I'm not sure I'm doing a good job of it. Anyway, a couple of more steep descents, and it will go into a saddle, and then it shouldn't be much further. So you can hear the guns. I'm pretty sure that's somebody camping over there, doing some target practice. We're getting tired of each other. You might say that tree there is bowed over. I think we're coming off our last little steep pitch, so shouldn't be anything too grueling between here and Gobi. So yeah, we saw this earlier, and I thought I'd get a little bit more footage, and maybe Roger or Dylan, maybe one of you two know if this was a bear digging in here or what. I don't know. We're right back in that little saddle. We were at about 2,573 feet, so almost another 500 feet from the spring. Which means we're about 2,000 feet from the summit, so we've dropped a good ways. Feel like it too. Well, we can just see old Gobi through the trees there, waiting patiently. Hopefully nobody broke in and got my bell-bottom blue jeans. I like to wear those a little on the long side. That way I can kind of drape over my roller skates and it just looks like I got wheels for feet. The chicks dig it. Well, Hale Ridge Road to the Rabun summit done. We've been here before, but like I've said, sometimes you forget. I forgot how hard it was. It was pretty tough. It's a long climb. I don't remember it being that grueling You know, I came up here thinking, oh, that'd be a nice hike. It won't be terribly hard. I know there'll be some steep parts in it, but it's grueling. When you round that sitting rock up there and start up that last ridge, you've already done a good bit, so you're a little bit tired, and then that just like, it just takes the rest of it. Looks like you got a little bit left in the tank. Let's see if we can't burn that up. I deserve it. I ate too much last night, went out with some friends for their birthday, and it was just bad. So I deserve this. Hopefully I'll burn it all off. But it's a good way to summit Rabun. Just be aware that it is a climb. If you're younger, you're probably like, I didn't think there was much to it at all. But even the trail runners that were going up that I met, even he said this is tough. So, and he was running coming down. But yeah, it is a tough little trail. But it's nice because you get some views along the way, and then you get up on that ridge top and you duck out and get to see some things just before you summit. And of course the summit is a huge payoff. So anyway, we're gonna get out of here, find us something to eat,